In this video, traders, let's explore the idea that complexity is the enemy of execution. Stay tuned. Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining me. All right, so I heard this phrase on a podcast from a guy I follow a lot. I take a lot of interesting information from. His name is Ed Milet. I highly recommend you check out his podcast. He's got a YouTube channel as well. He's a very successful business owner. He kind of coaches athletes and politicians, and he does podcasts and interviews. And one of the things, and actually there's a lot of, as we know guys, a lot of similarities in business and in trading. And I just generally like to surround myself and listen to people at the highest level, what they're doing, whether they're high level actors, whether high level athletes, or the high level business people. I think we can all take some input from them. So go and check them out. Actually, one of the things that he said is, complexity is the enemy of execution. And that really struck a chord with me. That really kind of made me think, it's so true. And that's so true in the trading world, in that, we have these massive long trading rule lists, massive long trading plan, massive long checklist, and it becomes so complex, we never execute on it. We just don't. We look at it, we go this, and this. We might stick it for a few days, but ultimately we don't do it. And this puts people off doing it. This kind of puts a spanner in the works, all these kind of things. And here's a little challenge to you. If you are struggling to stick to your rules, which many traders go through this process, it's a never-ending journey of refinement, adjustment, and tweaking. But if that's you, try to simplify your rules into just 3 rules. So rather than just having reams of I won't do this, I will do that, I won't do the other, I will do this. And this is something that can come with time. There's nothing to say you can't add to these with time, but a lot of them become an autopilot and you kind of focus on the next 3, the next 3, the next 3. But start with 3. And that could be something that you're working on specifically. So I will trade only 3 times a day. If you're day trading and trying to minimize your overtrading, I will always take this setup. I will never trade more than X size. There's your 3. Now they could be any 3. And you'll know what you're working on. I'm always a big advocate of working on one thing at a time you're trading. But when you're overcomplicating things, you just don't want to pull the trigger on it. You don't want to do anything with it. You don't want to stick to it. And so, very, very simple. Keep things as simple as possible. Write down a couple of the rules and then just stick to them. And then after your 7-day period, your 10-day period, whatever you're using, revisit. And what happens is that those rules then become autopilot. You automatically do them, so you can shuffle them back and put 3 new ones in. And now you're just focusing on those 3. Now, bearing in mind, you're now doing 6, whereas when you started out, you might have 6 and you might have 12 in, and it becomes too much. But if you start off with a simple 3, you get those down automatically. Like if you're a driver, you're pulling up to a junction, you're gonna look left, you're gonna look right, you're gonna look ahead, you're gonna pull off. It becomes autopilot, it becomes natural. Maybe check your mirror as well. You get the idea. You don't think about it, you're just driving and you're looking. So that's what we're trying to replicate with trading. We're trying to say, hey, I want to make sure I've checked my risk, I've done the position size, and I'm maintaining 3 trades. Once you do that, bang, you keep those rules, but they get shuffled down. You have 3 new rules, and they may well be, I don't want to trade against the direction of the trend. I don't want to trade between the hours of this. I want to make sure I take a break. Then you make sure you do those. Very, very simple, very easy to follow. 3 things you've got to remember. And then once they become autopilot, bang, now you've got 6 that are in the bank that have just been executing autopilot. Now, one thing to point out, guys, if you slip off a little bit, then by all means bring one of them back into your 3 primary rules to focus on it again. So let's say you kind of slip and you take trades you shouldn't do. Put that back into your primary rule and work on that with the 2 others. So now you're working on only 3 things at a time. It's very simple. It's not going to be an issue for you to do. Guys, it's not easy. Of course it's not easy. You're still going to have to execute and do it, but you haven't got a ream of complicated lists and rules and checklists that is the enemy of execution. Just like Ed Milet said in one of his podcasts. It's a podcast from a while ago, but they're all worth listening to. The enemy of execution, and it's so right. In trading, it's so right. So just try that. If you're struggling with your discipline, if you're struggling sticking to your rules, try the 3 rule. 3 rules, stick to them. Once you've cracked them, move on. 3 more, 3 more, 3 more, until you've got all that massive list of rules that you've got already ticked off. But rather than trying to bite the whole thing up at once and making it completely complicated and never executing on any of them, you're breaking them down a little bit at a time. Anyways, take care, keep the risk managed, and don't forget to there's a link in the description below. And also, as channel sponsor down there too. Take care, bye-bye.